Hello again, NCAC sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in the NCAC. I'm your host, Brett Billhart. On this week's show, we will recap the fall sports NCAA tournament results from last week and preview those national championship events that continue in the week ahead. Let's open on the cross-country circuit, where 9 league teams participated at the Great Lakes Regional at Calvin College in Grand Rapids, Michigan, while Allegheny competed at the Mid-East Regional at Muhlenberg College in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. In the men's Great Lakes Regional race, Wabash ended the Calvin Knights' 17-year reign as Great Lakes Regional champions by placing 5 runners in the top 20 to finish first in the standings with 60 points and earn an automatic bid into the NCAA championship field. The Little Giants, who will be making their 4th straight appearance at the national meet, were led at the regionals by junior Dalton Boyer, who finished 2nd overall with an 8K time of 25:14.7. The Allegheny men finished 4th at the Mid-East Regional with 145 points and will be appearing in the national meet for the 9th year in a row after earning an at-large invitation. The Gators were led at the Mid-East Regional by senior Bobby Over, who became the first runner in school history to win 3 straight NCAA regional championships after he broke the tape with an 8K time of 24:29. In women's action, Oberlin finished 2nd at the Great Lakes Regional with 104 points and has earned an automatic bid into the program's 5th straight national meet. Junior Emma Lehman paced the Yeowomen in Michigan by finishing 2nd overall with a time of 21:49 on the 6K course. The Ohio Wesleyan women finished 4th in Grand Rapids and earned one of the 16 at-large bids into the national championship race. The Battling Bishops, who will be making the program's 2nd appearance at the national meet, were led by senior Cara DeAngelis, who finished 7th with a time of 21:53.1. In addition, 5 NCAC student athletes have individually qualified to compete at the national race, including Oberlin sophomore Gino Arthur, Oberlin sophomore Josh Urso, Denison senior Olivia Galano, DePaul senior Siri Retram, and Kenyon senior Jenna Willett. The 2013 NCAA Division III Cross Country Championships will be hosted at the L.S. Ayers Athletic Complex on the campus of Hanover College in Hanover, Indiana, this Saturday, November 23rd. The women's race will begin at 11 a.m., with the men's scheduled to start at 12:30 p.m. We'll now shift our attention to the pitch, where the NCAC had 4 teams competing in the national soccer tournaments. On the women's side, Allegheny earned the league's automatic bid into the 64-team field after winning the program's first NCAC tournament title. The Gators traveled to Crestview Hills, Kentucky for a first-round contest against Thomas More, where the Saints outlasted the Gators by a 2-1 margin. 2013 NCAC Newcomer of the Year Jesse Thiessen scored the Gators' lone goal of the match in the 90th minute. In men's soccer, the NCAC sent 3 teams in the national tournament for the first time since the 1993 season. OWU earned the league's AQ into the national field after winning its 9th NCAC tournament title in program history, while Kenyon and Oberlin both earned at-large invitations. Kenyon was the lone league squad to advance past the first weekend, as the Lords knocked off a pair of nationally ranked opponents in back-to-back matches in Wheaton, Illinois. The Lords blanked Ohio Northern 2-0 on Friday and then edged site host Wheaton 2-1 on Saturday to advance to the sectional round. KC has now won multiple games in the NCAA men's soccer tournament for the first time since their national runner-up finish in 1996 and will travel to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania on Saturday, November 23rd for a sectional semifinal contest against host Messiah at 5 p.m. The Oberlin Yeomen made the program's first appearance in the national tournament and earned its first postseason victory after knocking off SUNY Oneonta by a 2-0 margin on Saturday. Despite falling in the second round against Rochester by a 3-0 margin, it was still a historic season for the Yeomen, as they set 3 single-season school records with 14 wins, 36 total assists, and 11 shutout victories. And finally, Ohio Wesleyan qualified for the national tournament for the 36th time in school history. the Battling Bishops earned a first-round bye, but were unable to advance past the second round as Rose-Hulman topped them 1-0 on Sunday in Delaware. We do want to congratulate all 4 NCAC soccer teams that participated in the national tournament and continue to cheer on Kenyon Lords and head coach Chris Brown as they continue their journey through the men's tournament bracket. We'll remain outside for a brief moment and celebrate the successful season of the DePaul field hockey team. The Tigers earned the NCAC's automatic bid into the NCAA Division III field hockey tournament after winning the league tournament title for the second year in a row. DPU earned one of the 8 first-round byes in the national tournament and traveled to Newport News, Virginia on Saturday for a second-round match that saw the Tigers suffer a heartbreaking 1-0 overtime loss against Catholic. Congratulations to the Tigers and head coach Gina Willis for yet another successful season in Greencastle. And finally, we'll close out the NCAA championship portion of the show by heading indoors for the Division III volleyball regional tournaments. 2 NCAC squads qualified for the tournaments, with Wittenberg earning the league's AQ after winning its 7th straight NCAC tournament title, and DePaul being awarded one of the 19 at-large invitations. Wittenberg, which competed in the NCAA tournament for the 19th time in program history, traveled to Grand Rapids, Michigan for the Calvin College Regional. The Tigers advanced to the regional title match for the 4th year in a row after defeating Bluffton 3-0 in the quarters and Chicago 3-1 in the semifinals, before dropping a narrow 3-2 decision against the host Knights in the championship match. Calvin and Wittenberg have now met 8 times in NCAA tournament play, dating back to the 1994 season, with the Knights holding a 5-3 edge in the postseason series. The DePaul Tigers returned to the national tournament for the first time since 2000 and traveled to Illinois for the Elmhurst College Regional, where they were upended in the quarterfinal round against Otterbein by a 3-0 margin. We want to congratulate both Tiger volleyball squads, as well as head coaches Deb Zellers and Paco Labrador for a pair of successful seasons. And finally, we'll wrap up this week's show on the gridiron, where the Wittenberg Tigers have earned their 12th league title in program history, following a 56-0 victory over Allegheny on Saturday. As league champions, the Tigers have secured the automatic bid into the 2013 NCAA Division III Football Championship Tournament and will play host to Lebanon Valley, the automatic qualifier out of the Middle Atlantic Conferences, on Saturday at 12 p.m. at Edward Mowards Field in Springfield. And we'll now celebrate the achievements of the final NCAC Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week selections for the 2013 season. The Offensive Award went to Wabash senior Sean Hildebrand, who helped lead the Little Giants to a 38-31 victory over DePaul in the 120th playing of the Monon Bell Classic. The Fishers, Indiana native scored the game's first score on a 10-yard reverse early in the first quarter, and then put Wabash up 21-0 with a 26-yard touchdown reception with 52 seconds left in the first stanza. He finished the game with 10 receptions for 125 yards to lead the Little Giants to their 5th straight Monon Bell victory. It does mark just the 6th time in the history of the 120-year rivalry that either team has won 5 or more consecutive games. And the Defensive Award went to Oberlin senior defensive end Kirby Livingston, who led the Yeoman's defensive front that allowed just 14 rushing yards and 184 yards of total offense in a 47-13 victory over Hiram. Livingston, who resides in Brookline, Massachusetts, tallied a team-high 9 tackles, which included career highs in both sacks and tackles for loss, with 3 and 4, respectively. The victory marked the Yeoman's final game in Savage Stadium, as plans have recently been released for the school to build a brand new $8 million football stadium for the 2014 season. And NCAC swimming and diving action continued last week, while the 2013-14 basketball campaign also kicked off on November the 15th. Fans, be sure to tune in to future shows for complete updates on both winter sports. And fans, as always, for up-to-date news, stats, and standings from around the North Coast Athletic Conference, you can log on to our website at www.northcoast.org. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at NCAC, as well as like us on Facebook. And for the entire conference staff, I'm Brett Billhart, and thanks for watching.